Welcome back, guys. As you can read by the title, I'm going to be showing you guys my vintage designer collection. So as you guys can see, most of the designer that I collect is Louis. I don't know where this came from, but I think I just love how Louis bags pretty much go with anything. And so I started collecting them when I was in, I want to say college. And from there, I've just kind of accumulated a bunch of bags. So I'm going to show you guys some of them, where I got them from, and then a few places that I like to go to locally in Atlanta, as well as some places that you can find them online, and then how to figure out what's like the best price point and how to figure out if they're authentic. So this armoire dresser situation here, I actually got this from IKEA. Years ago, I didn't have like a way to display my bags, so they were kind of all like thrown in this corner over here, and needless to say, that looked a freaking mess. So I purchased this from IKEA. I love it because it's white and it has, it's glass so you can see the bag, so it's kind of like they're displayed. And it opens up like such, and if there is like people or something that you want to keep out, it also comes with a lock and a key. So I'm gonna briefly go over my bags. So my first luxury purchase was this Louis bag, Neverfull. This is actually, I think this was made in '06, and I'll show you guys later on how to tell what year and where the bag was made, which is also how you'll tell whether or not it's real. But I actually bought this bag from Tradesy. Tradesy is one of the many consignment places online that you can buy luxury goods from. They are resale, so most of the time people are reselling them, but you can't negotiate with them on Tradesy, so the price is as is. And Louis, actually, when I got this bag, the trim was a little bit cracked over the years. For me, I actually took it as a school bag, and the leather actually cracked, so I sent it to Louis, and they actually fixed the trim for like 60 bucks. So that's always an option if you are looking to buy vintage goods and like want to like reupholster them or like fix them. And inside of my Neverfull, I have a Louis cosmetic bag. And this I actually got from locally, Labels here in Buckhead, one of my favorite vintage places to shop, mainly because they have really fair pricing, as well as a lot of my Chanel shades and such are actually from Labels as well. And I think the most I've ever paid was like $200. Now, if you go to some of these other sites, they charge like $300 and $400. I'm personally not paying that, but to each its own. So this I actually bought from Labels. It is a Louis cosmetic bag. This is one of the older ones, and you can tell just because this zipper is like brass. The Louis coloring is not as vibrant as the rest of my Louis bags, but I use this to travel. I have all my Clorox wipes and things like that in here, but this is perfect to really put anywhere, but especially your Neverfull, if you're gonna take it. I usually use mine to travel, but it just keeps everything separated, and it keeps anything like liquids or anything from spilling out. This whole thing on the inside is completely leather, so it's easy to clean out. So this is one of my favorite pieces that I've gotten. Another little piece is this Dior cosmetic bag as well. And I wish that I will probably end up getting a bag to match this, because this is so cute. And sometimes I'll carry it as a clutch, but it's like very easy to lose. But I actually got this also locally at Full Circle here in Atlanta. They have relocated to right off of Howell Mill. They're across from, I think it's like Shake Shack now. Love, love, love them. They have an Instagram that I will also link and put on the screen for you guys to check out. They sell mostly sneakers and like vintage goods, but sometimes once in a while I've gotten a couple vintage shades from them. Still same thing, haven't paid more than like $200 for them. And then they also sell, I came across the other day, they had like 2 monogram Dior bags. They also sell like vintage Louis, so they're also a good consignment place. So the other bag that I also got off of Tradesy is this Alma here. So this is the Alma BB. They actually still make this bag, but of course when I was trying to get the bag, they didn't have a lot of this bag. So this one I actually bought, I think it was shortly after my Speedy, and I think I paid maybe $800 for it, which in the grand scheme of things, it's like an okay deal because you could buy it brand new for $1,200. But I actually love to buy pre-owned Louis bags because I don't like the leather to look white, and that's how they usually look when they are brand new. So this one came with a lock and a key. And what I like about the Alma as well is it comes with a strap. So like the camera bag, it's hands-free, it's very cute, and then you can also take the strap off and just wear it as like a handle bag. And this one I bought pretty much in used condition, not used in the sense that it was like beat up, but used in the sense that this was already kind of brown and it just kind of stuck. So this was actually, there's like certain staple Louis bags that I wanted, and I pretty much have all the ones that I wanted, which is really why I haven't bought a new one lately. The classic bags, these are like classic styles. This was actually my second Louis bag. I purchased this bag in New York at, I don't remember, I think it was called something Paris. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but I love this bag. It surprisingly, I think, is reselling for quite much more than I paid for. I think I paid maybe $400 for it. It might be going for like 1,000 or 800, somewhere 1,200 range. I can't remember. But the reason why is because they don't make this bag anymore. This is one of the vintage styles that they don't make. And I love it because it has an adjustable strap and it's just easy to just throw over your shoulder and your hands free. So it's really good like city bag, or if you're like going on an adventure and you don't want to hold it. The other thing is Louis back then used to make their bags such good quality. So this is like real deal leather versus some of the newer Louis bags that I've purchased as well. But this is one of my favorite bags, and I probably will never sell this and will probably hand it down to my future daughter. Hopefully, I would like a daughter. So that is the Louis camera bag. The next bag I have in here is this Louis bum bag. This is actually not vintage, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I don't think they make it anymore, so it probably will eventually, it resells for a lot, but I also paid a lot for it, so we're gonna move on from that. Next bag I have is my Speedy. This is a Speedy 25. I always wanted one of these. This I actually bought from Labels as well. What's cool about Labels is a lot of wealthy people actually consign their stuff there, and a lot of it is never worn. This bag was never worn. It obviously is very worn now because of me. But one thing you'll notice over the years is your handles and stuff will start to darken. When I first bought this bag, it was barely touched. I think this bag actually was made in '96, according to the identification tag inside. This is a staple. I put this little keychain on it, but the 25s are always, to me, like classic bags because you can always dress them up or dress them down, and they are still very casual. So they still do sell these, but obviously the price point is way much more than what I paid for it. I don't exactly remember what I paid for it. I don't think it was more than 1,000. Now, mind you, this was a few years ago. I haven't purchased any recent bags because they're tripping with these prices. So on to the more vintage stuff is this denim Louis, and this is probably my least worn bag, and you can tell by the handles they're really not worn. The back doesn't have much wear. This I actually also got from Labels. They have an Instagram, so a lot of this stuff I catch on the Instagram, and I run in the store and I'm like, do you guys still have it? This was actually a birthday gift my mom bought me from Labels. I think it was $900. Mind you, if you go on the RealReal or look for these bags anywhere else, they're going to run you at least $1,200 to $1,400. So that's just something to keep in mind. It also comes in a pink denim, which I want in the future. And then I think it comes in like a forest green. But this is just a classic. I can't remember what collection this was a part of, but it even still has the actual tag in it. The inside is suede yellow, which you do have to be careful with because it can get dirty quick. But this is just the gold hardware, this denim. I mean, it literally goes with anything, especially if you're wearing like all black and it's like black and gold. This is the best bag. It's literally my favorite bag. The next one I have is Murakami. Murakami is probably my favorite Louis collection, if not the graffiti. I don't have any of the graffiti yet, but soon come. This is also consigned locally. This is actually from Alexis Suitcase. They have a couple locations. One is in Buckhead, one is in Sandy Springs, and I believe there might be one in Alpharetta. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But the people there always message me anytime they get these bags in, and I literally ran to get this bag. It is very hard to find this bag, and especially at a good price point. Once again, I can't remember what I paid for this bag, but it's nothing compared to what it's going for now. So this is the Murakami. It has the gold hardware on the front and on the bottom. And I always stuff my bags with any sort of like plastic or like paper to keep the shape. Once again, you have to be careful with these bags because if you spill anything in them, trying to get them clean on the inside is not going to be a pretty sight. So the next bag I have is this one. I don't really like to carry the Murakami ones too much because they actually are very valuable and they're pretty much rare. They're probably never gonna make these again. So this one is the Alma. This is also Murakami in white. This one I also got from Alexis Suitcase. And I think, honestly, this is probably the best deal I got on one of these. I paid $700 for this bag. This was a few years ago before the pandemic. And once again, one thing about the older Louis bags compared to the leather of the newer bags is these actually show more like watermarks and water stains, which I don't care for, but it's like, what can you do? When I bought it, it didn't have any. Now it has some, but the bottom overall is still pretty clean. If you see a lot of these bags, they're not in good condition. The handles are messed up. The bottom of the bag has stains all over it. So I don't really try to carry this much aside because it's white. And then it's also, you just have to be careful with this leather. So this is one I'll also probably always keep. The inside is like red leather. And so this won't show stains as badly, but you do still want to make sure that you just handle these type of bags with care because they are very pricey and they're a collector's item to many. So this is from Alexis Suitcase. This is the Alma White Murakami. This is the holy grail of holy grails. This was my first Murakami that I got. And this is actually from the RealReal. You guys have probably heard of the RealReal. They sell a lot of designer stuff. They're consignment based, so they're non-negotiable. And this I got, I believe it was 2018 or 2019. This was before I feel like there was hype behind these bags or just like really any vintage bags. I feel like there was not really any hype. And I got this bag for $1,600. $1,600. If you guys, I'll insert a photo here of how much they are costing now, but they're going to run you at least $3,000 for a good condition one, mind you. This one was in perfect condition when I got it. I've worn it and taken it a couple of times, so there is some watermarks. I think the only thing that came on it was this like little pin mark here, but this one is the Keep All. This is in the 45, so the ones with the Murakami Keep Alls have a longer strap so that you can actually hold it on your shoulder. The newer ones handle is much shorter on the Keep All, so it's literally you have to hold the bag. It doesn't have a strap. These did not come with a strap. They didn't get made with a strap. And it came with keys, it came with all the hardware, dust bag, complete shebang. This I actually only carry for special occasions. I really don't carry this much anymore because I actually have a regular keep all that is much bigger than this. This is a 45, so it really doesn't fit that much stuff. It could be used like an overnight bag, but nothing more than that. And so I don't really carry this because I'm kind of like archiving it due to it gaining value, and it's just a rare bag. So those are all of my vintage pieces. I also have a Murakami wallet and black and white that match these bags below. One of the wallets I actually got on eBay. eBay is a really good marketplace to find vintage items. A lot of these people overseas sell this stuff for much cheaper than the United States, and 99.9% of it is authentic. And I'll show you guys a few of my eBay sellers that I like. You might pay a little more for shipping, but it's honestly worth it if you're gonna get an authentic product for much lower than what these consignment stores are charging. The black wallet that I got to match the black Murakami, I actually got with this bag at Alexis Suitcase. Like I said, a lot of these wealthy people want to get rid of things, so they consign them at these consignment stores, and I will leave a list of all the local consignment stores on the screen. So these wealthy people sell these stuff to these consignment places, and they are just selling them. So most of the time they're not jacking the price up, and you're getting a really good deal for something that has barely been worn. Now, when it comes to clothing and online consignment, I will leave a whole study guide on the screen here for you guys. So a couple of places online that I love to shop would be Depop. ThreadUp is a really good one. eBay, like I said. Grailed is also pretty good when it comes to clothing consignment. Treasure New York, which is on Instagram, and Into Archive, which is another good one. And then there's something called What Goes Around Comes Around. What Goes Around Comes Around is a little bit more on the expensive side because they actually have people that are going out and they work with private sellers. So I forgot to add, guys, that what goes around comes around, and a lot of these consignment places have authenticators that are specifically trained to authenticate these items. So 99, pretty much 100%, they're going to be authentic. But for sellers such as Depop and Grailed, if the amount is over a certain amount, they have to make sure that it is authenticated. And if it is not, and you get it and it isn't, you'll get your money back. So I just want to preface that before I show you guys how to tell for certain bags, especially Louis bags, how you can tell whether they are real or not. So it's a little bit more of a price tag that you're gonna pay because a lot of these items are unworn and they're having to pay these people to buy this stuff, which means of course they have to upcharge you. The Real Real is also another one. They just opened one here. You can find a couple of things. Lately, it seems to be that they're a little bit more expensive, but that could just be the climate that's going on in the world at this point in time. But if you guys have any questions and want to know more about how to find vintage bags, or even want me to help you find some, I'm really good. I was going to actually start a business doing consignment, but it is a lot of work and I honestly don't have the time for it. But if you guys are interested, please comment below down and let me know how you like this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.